Hello, everyone. My name is Caleb Tingstad. I am a lawyer at Beresford Booth here in Edmonds, Washington. My practice is split pretty evenly between a transactional practice and a litigation practice that focuses on business divorces. And frequently, those uh, the can take the form of litigation or transactional approaches. But most of the time, they almost always end in some kind of buyout or formal separation between partners in a business. One of the reasons why we call it a business divorce is sometimes it takes the form not dissimilar to a marital divorce. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about best practices for partner buyouts, and this is specifically focused on partners for businesses here in Washington. Although this is generally applicable to partners for businesses in other states as well. And so there are a couple of important things that I want to hit on today. This is really just designed to be a broad overview of some important pieces. And I think the first one, which is perhaps the most important, is to get it in writing. And I'm always surprised that I have to tell people this, but I would say, probably a common mistake, and perhaps the biggest mistake is, you and your business partner separate and you don't get something in writing. You have terms that everyone's agreed to, but if it's not in writing, that makes it incredibly difficult to deal with in the event that something goes wrong. The next um, the next item I want to talk about, obviously, is payment. There are a bunch of different ways that payment can be made. Because a lot of times it's going to be in exchange for the partner's interest in the business. Is it going to be cash? Is it going to be over a term? How is the payment amount set? Is there going to be if payment is going to be made over a certain period of time? Is there going to be security? If so, what's the security for to secure payment? Is it going to be in real estate? Is it going to be in a hard assets or something that's intangible? That's something that really needs to be thought about at the beginning, and people need to be considerate about what their options are, and it's totally a case by case basis on what works best. And finally, from someone who is for someone who's selling, what happens if they don't get paid? And that kind of ties in a little bit to the security there. These are things to just really thoughtful about from the outset to be able to structure a deal that's advantageous for both sides. The next point I want to talk about is indemnification. A lot of times this just takes the form of a business partner leaving and wanting to make sure that they're not on the hook for liabilities of the business that they're leaving. And part of the negotiation is sometimes there's going to be certain things that are not going to be covered by indemnification. Let's say a partner in a general contracting business did a project for which that they're going to need to continue to be on the hook for if there are warranty claims that are made. Sometimes there are going to be specific carve outs either for the buyer or the seller, and also are there going to be specific procedures for making claims for indemnification? Is there notice? Also, is there a duty to defend? A lot of times with indemnification, it can just be paying money, but if there's also a duty to defend, also, are there going to be specific obligations to defend, and under what circumstances, and that sort of a thing. Again, these are issues that are really important to be thoughtful about from the outset, as it can really inform what the drafting of the actual agreement splitting up the partners looks like. And finally here, this is a piece that often gets overlooked, but is nevertheless really important. And this is not so much the legal as it is the practical, right? If you have a business partner that's leaving, both sides should make sure that they are trying to sever in as clean a way as possible, which means any equipment of the business should be returned. Also, access to email and internal accounting software for the business should be removed. And the same goes for physical access to business locations and whatnot. People would be very surprised at how frequently these practical considerations are overlooked. And it really is important that these are addressed, because if they're not addressed, it can cause problems down the road for everyone involved. And at the end of the day, business partner buyouts, separations between business partners can be very difficult sometimes. And that's what my practice focuses on. I'm here to help. My contact information is in the QR code, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.